guys, welcome back. Today we're back at Willow Springs and I'm going to answer some questions that a lot of you guys have had as we started this project. Today we're going to overview what all it took to swap the Vq35hr into my 03 350Z. As you know, there are a lot of differences between the 03 and the HRs. There was a lot of information on the internet. Some of it was right, some of it was wrong. So I'm making this video to help you guys have a clear path and a good idea of exactly what you need. First off, I do want to say I would highly recommend getting a complete donor car because there are a lot of pieces if you want to put this back in an OE configuration. Now, if you're looking to make a race car, not so much. This particular car that I put together is a street car that I wanted air conditioned, I wanted all the correct parts on, I wanted the factory air boxes to fit and stuff like that, kind of put it in an OEM configuration. And I was also really adamant about keeping the 03 model hood because it matches the bumper really well that I have on the car here. It has the little protrusions that match the hood, which would look kind of weird with the 08 hood. So let's get to it. For starters, the air conditioning system from the firewall forward, the bottom of the windshield, behind this sub firewall, every component from the windshield forward has to be changed from the HR model, except for the condenser itself up here in front of the radiator. All the lines, the compressor, obviously the bracket where it mounts to the engine, all that is different. So if you want your air conditioner to work, you're going to have to go to a donor car or have a donor car and get everything from the windshield forward except for the condenser. All the components under the dash will work, unmodified, no problem at all. Next, if you want to use the factory air boxes, now there are a lot of people that have done this swap with aftermarket intakes for clearance issues, but if you want to use the factory air boxes, you're going to have to get the power steering reservoir from the HR. Now I'll go on into the power steering system here in a second, but the DE power steering reservoir is right here on the corner of the tower and in the way of the second air box. The HR one actually goes over on the side here behind the headlight and gives just enough room for the air box to clear. Now I will mention this bolt hole here is the left side bolt hole for the DE reservoir bracket. There are two more bolts to go here for the DE. The HR uses the exact same hole, so you can use that as a reference to locate, to drill your hole here on the side behind the headlight. And you can see I've only used one of them, but I put a M6 riv nut so I could just put the bolts that I took off the side over here right back in place there. If you have your headlight and headlight bracket off, there will be enough room to drill the second hole and put a second riv nut if you care to do so, but it's very secure with just the top two. As for the power steering system, literally everything had to be changed except for the steering rack itself. There are three versions of the 350Z steering rack. The DE is a power rack that has no variable steering control. When they introduced the rev up model, they added what they call a variable steering. So it lightens the steering load. It's going to actually change the amount of force on the wheel over a certain speed or RPM. And the HR, they continued with a second generation of the variable steering rack, which can be modified with a Power by Max delete kit. It's just a little plug that you can take the solenoid off. Now, just a small note on the rev up racks, it's not as simple. If you have a rev up car, I would recommend either going back to a DE rack or forward to an HR rack. But you can use either one of them. If you have a car that's not going to be driven on the track a lot and the variable steering is not going to be an issue, it's not a competition car or a tandem car, no problem at all using the rev up rack. But if you want to delete the variable steering, you're going to either have to go back to a DE rack or go forward to an HR rack and get that delete kit from Power by Max. Now, the main reason that you have to change lines is because the DE line actually comes up and over, and it would be in the way of the airbox, similar to how the reservoir was in the way of the airbox in the DE configuration. There are some stories on the internet about using the DE radiator with the HR fans and most of the mounting points lining up, 3 of the 4. And I was going to actually try that at first, so I just ordered the fans and tried to use my DE radiator, but I had ordered the HR overflow tank because now your DE overflow tank is not going to fit since there's a second air box there. And once I started putting things in, I realized, okay, well, we've got to have a way to mount this thing, and the DE radiator does not have the provisions to mount the overflow tank. So if you want to mount it in an OE configuration, you're going to need a HR radiator, HR fans, which you can get a pretty good quality set of OE replacement fans by TYC off of rockauto.com, and then you'll need, of course, the HR overflow can. This will work with the factory HR upper and lower radiator hose with no custom configuration. Now, another thing that you've probably researched and found out, a lot of people are saying that you have to change the radiator support, and that's not true actually. The reason being is the HR has the air inlets on both sides where the DE doesn't, but it doesn't seem to cause any problem. I'm not seeing abnormal intake air temps by not cutting it out or swapping to the HR support. All of your HR cooling components and your air boxes and everything will fit no problem at all on the DE support. So it's not necessary to change out the DE support unless you were really concerned about intake air temps and you were doing like some time attack stuff, and it was very important for shaving temps off of your track times. But in this case, this is just a street car that I'm using on occasion for track use and hopefully not destroying while we're out here on this trip, because I have to drive it back home 1,800 miles to Mississippi. Next, let's talk about the vacuum source for the power assisted brakes. On the DE model, it comes out of this hole right here. It actually goes around this sub firewall and goes straight to the intake manifold on the side. On the HR model, you can see it comes into the back and it comes out over on this side. Now, I had a complete donor car. If you've been following the series, you saw all that going down. I took a unibit and I drilled this hole in the exact same location on the donor car, and I drilled the hole for the little holder and just installed the HR line. Now, you can use the DE hard line over here and run a 3/8 vacuum line around the back and connect it that way. That's a little easier method, but I wanted this in an OE configuration, so I got all the OE parts. If it were me and I didn't have the OE parts, I would recommend cutting the DE line further back here, removing that hard line that's hidden behind the sub firewall, and running your hard line straight in this direction to the back of the manifold. Also, as you guys know, the HR uses a concentric slave cylinder that's inside of the bell housing around the input shaft of the transmission. To change this out, you will need a HR clutch master cylinder as well as a HR concentric slave. I chose to go with the Jim Wolf T56 concentric slave on their billet base to adapt it to the HR housing. It's worked very well, even on our cross-country trip and the testing we've done on the track. It's a very nice engagement, very natural feel, and I've been very pleased with it. Also, your DE clutch and flywheel will not interchange with the HR. They're both dual mass, but they do not interchange. The bolts that hold the flywheel to the crankshaft and the bolts that hold the clutch to the pressure plate are the same, but the clutch and the flywheel are not. So you will have to change those out to HR version as well. Also, I do want to point out, because I've had quite a few people ask me about this, even if you have an 06 model, an 05 or an 06 that has the CD009 transmission that everybody seems to like, it actually will not bolt up to the HR block. You will have to have a JK40 HR transmission from an 07 or 08 350Z or an HR model G35. You can utilize your original drive shaft if you had a 6-speed car to begin with. An automatic drive shaft will not interchange, and you can also reuse your original or aftermarket DE short shifter or factory shifter. So the shifter is the same, the transmission is the difference. Also, the HR has a different factory manifold, or header if you'll call it that. The DE does have what I consider like a log style manifold type thing. The HR comes factory with a tubular equal length manifolds. And because of that, they have a different flange. So if you've already purchased test pipes for your DE, unfortunately, you're going to have to repurchase them again. You're going to be using Vq35hr from 07-08 or 370Z, and most of the time these parts are going to be sold for both cars, and they may actually be in the category under 370. So just make sure that you're getting those that have that elongated flange instead of the little short DE flanges. Other than that, it will bolt up to your DEY pipe. The only difference is going to be the flange where the header mates to the test pipes. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the electrical system and the ECU. As far as the ECU and the electronics and wiring, you will need a HR wiring harness. It's preferred to have this from a 350Z. There's a guy in Tennessee, Eric at Guilty Garage. He's the one that did the wiring service on my car here. And if you're not fluent with wiring on cars and you're not confident about it, I would highly recommend sending it to him. He had a very quick turnaround time. Plug and play. The car cranked up first try. I've had no problems with it. He also offers a immobilizer or NATS anti-theft delete. You'll have to send in your HR computer for him to plug it in and disable the anti-theft system. It is included in the wiring pricing. So if you're paying for his wiring service, he will complimentary delete your immobilizer. That way you don't have to worry about trailering the car to Nissan when you complete the swap and having it reprogrammed for the chip in your key. So if you are fluent with wiring, you may want to tackle this yourself, but if you're not, or if you're in a time constraint like we were on this build, Eric did an excellent job, and like I said, it was plug and play. There were no additional terminations. Everything plugged right in just as if it were factory. So in addition to having the wiring service done on your wiring harness or wiring it yourself, there will be a few changes you'll have to make to the body harness on the car. When you move the power steering reservoir from the corner of the strut tower back over here with the HR one, it actually interferes with one of the grounds, and you can see that I've relocated it from this hole over here behind where my bracket is now back to another hole here that I just put nut and bolt on. You'll also, if you notice that there's an extra plug down there, on the DE model there's a switch here for the hood for the alarm, and it will not fit with the new power steering bracket. It's perfectly okay to unplug that switch and completely remove it from the car. None of the HR models had the hood switch, so it will work just like HR security system, and it will still function, and your keyless will work just fine. On the other side here, on your DE, your grounds bolt to the front of the cover here, and they go down to the rail over there. Now those will not be used anymore. The HR uses the grounds on this side. They bolt right here, and this harness comes over. This is the original bolt hole that holds the DE airbox in place. On your DE car, this second hole will not be present. So you will have to actually drill, and I just nut and bolted that, and that takes care of the grounds. So now another small thing that you guys might want to do if you have a complete donor car, you'll notice that my airboxes have a bolt hole here, but there's nothing to bolt to them. If you have a donor car and you can swap these HR headlight buckets or brackets, whatever you want to refer to them as, they actually have the tabs for these bolt holes, and you can make that bolt straight up. So hopefully this video gives you a good idea of what all it takes to get the HR into the DE chassis. Now when I get back home to Mississippi in a few weeks, I'm going to sit down and try to make another video for you guys that will break down the cost and how I made my swap happen and what kind of cost you should expect to do your HR swap and your DE350Z or G35. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.